But I'm so used to looking at him being on this
I
side.
know.
Now. I'm like,
This is all new, so it don't matter, right?
I'm back. No, because now I'm backwards.
I'm kind of glad to be on here because I got this little ball, and it's gonna be my All right.
Your security ball.
Dang, hold on. I gotta get comfy over here.
I know. I feel weird now because
I might kick my foot up here or something.
I'm so used to.
Show off them Jordans.
Wait. Okay,
I'm so
first.
used to facing.
The pod is rolling, but listen, what do y'all think about? I just gotta show. What do y'all think about the plant with the butt?
Is it fake?
The butt?
Oh.
The butt or the plant?
That was a good lead-in. That plant is definitely fake.
Yeah, the plant's fake. It's $10.
Plant, fake butt.
Do y'all like the plant? And then the Drake book. What do you think about it? I don't think they can see on the. That's the Drake book.
Oh yeah, he had that on his story yesterday.
Yeah, let's look. I'm gonna start it out by.
What's the Drake book? I've never.
It's got really dumb things like said you're 1 in a million, not 1 in 7.8 billion. Relax. Hold on. Hearts break as much as they beat. A lesson I know too well, but hate to teach. I don't like that one. Hold on.
Are these just bars?
I think they're just.
They're literally. It
It's
had 2 words on its page.
Yeah, a stream of consciousness. This one says, rather us than love. Beautiful weddings, not so great marriages. Like random just things. Numbers, oh, no, that's.
I feel like it would have been better if he just put his bars on a.
I don't know, I like it. So y'all don't like my Drake book?
Are you just a Drake fan?
Well,
I'm a big Drake fan.
Okay, so then you're.
I'm kind of a Drake groupie, basically.
Kind of invalid opinion because you're gonna rock with Drake regardless.
I mean, y'all don't like it?
So
Like, it's pretty cool.
you're
Are
saying
you
the
good?
album?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just need a crack. Crack my
ASMR.
tall boy.
Dang. Well, I guess okay. Before I get back to that, what's going on, guys? Oh my god. It's Whatever podcast. Today we have 2 wonderful co-hosts. I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves. You're drinking. Go first. Someone go. I'm nervous.
Hey, I'm Morgan.
Shay.
Oh, hi, I'm Shay.
And this is our first episode. And I feel like I gotta look at y'all, but then I'm like, should I look at the camera? Then I'm like, should I look down? I'm kind of like really nervous.
I feel like I'm trying to think of other podcasts. Do they don't look at the camera?
No, they don't look at the
This
camera.
isn't The Office.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't
told you.
seen. Well, you know which podcast I'm gonna reference that you hate.
Don't give them free. You know what I'm saying? I'm the best light skin here.
No freak out.
I think they're doing okay.
All right, wait. Drake album. I do want to start with that since we talked about the. Did y'all listen to the Drake album?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you listen in order?
I listened to every order possible.
Okay, because I'm really a stickler on that. Did you listen to it in order, or did
I
you?
tried to at first, but then I started to find the ones that I thought I would vibe with most, and then I was kind of skipping through, to be honest.
Do y'all download whole albums or do y'all download single songs, like the ones that you like?
Well, I gotta listen to the whole. Like, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing through one time.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta see what he was trying to do first, what the artist was trying to do, and then I'll go back and like if it's something I really really like, I'll add it to a playlist because I.
So you don't add the whole album? I think I'm
not gonna save the whole album. No, it's Apple Music. Like it's gonna be there.
Dang, I do the whole album.
It ain't going nowhere. I'm only gonna.
I saved the whole album, but that thing was like an hour and a half or something.
How long is the album supposed to be?
That was a long album.
I don't know.
Like,
It's been a while since I made one, so.
Wait, so did y'all like the album, the songs? Yes.
I
no?
would say 50 to 60%. Yes.
Scale it 1 to 10.
7.
8. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I'm about the same.
7, 8.
I feel like it was a regular Drake album, But how y'all feel about how he was like kind of talking on it though? Like, cause he was kind of just talking. I mean, he was talking about like 25-year-old women the whole time. Really, that's what I feel like.
Oh, really?
I mean, he did say something about 25-year-old, but
there were some songs I definitely went back and listened to that like I had missed some bars from, and then I was like, oh, okay. Like there were definitely some, but that's how I felt. The first half of that album ain't really do it for me, to be honest.
I like the whole album. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's not that I disliked it, but the first half I was just like, I feel like the bangers are on the second half of that album.
So, all right, name a favorite song. I'm gonna go first. My favorite song is BBL Love. I think that's what it's called. BBL Love. Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to look at the album. I'm really bad with music. Like,
What about you?
I don't know. I think I want to say like the only one that I can think of the title, The First Shooters.
yeah, actually, I think
The
that's
J.
one
Cole
of the,
joint.
Yeah, I think that's the one one of the ones I really liked, the J. Cole one. But I love J.
But
Cole.
but
so.
Miles, I feel like you're really into the that vibe, like the slow Drake, like old Drake.
I like all Drake, but like, I don't know. It's like there's certain things about certain music. Like sometimes, I was telling some of my friends, sometimes it's like more than just the actual song that I like about it. Sometimes it's like, oh, how they chose the beat, how he chose the beat, and then like what sample he used for it, and the reason why he picked a sample for it, and then like how he rhymed. Like I like certain, like I'm really like a fan.
Yeah, you're locked in.
I also think 8 a.m. in Charlotte was a good one too.
I like that one a lot too, but
like there's some, if you go, so that's one you got to go back and listen to a few times because there's some heavy lines on that that you definitely did not catch the first time you listened to it.
My second favorite is Rich Baby Daddy.
Oh, I do like
that song.
I don't know.
I love that song.
So there's another one. There's another one besides the J. Cole one that I really like, but it's down in that like
in that area.
So I wouldn't say like probably like 3/4 of the album through, but I can't remember. Like if someone said the name, I would know what it was. But I
can name them in order for you.
I can name them in order.
Virginia B. Okay, you like the second half.
The first song of the album was, I think that was a great way to start it.
Yeah, I like that song. I like all of them though.
But it was definitely the second half.
I just don't know because like I saw a lot of like females saying that they didn't like it because he was kind of just being like misogynistic or whatever. But
do you know that
it's for the dogs.
Yeah.
But I was also gonna say, you know how many things that we would have to not listen to as a woman if we didn't listen to
I was
stuff
about to
that was
say
misogynistic.
that.
I mean, like sometimes even female rap is misogynistic in a way. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of
side effect.
Sometimes, like on some Drake type mess, like I'll be like hearing like Sam or someone sing like some misogynistic bar, like screaming, and I'm like, dang, y'all ain't got no respect for yourself. Like y'all singing along to what they're saying, like.
But it's kind of also like that, you know, the thing of like, well, if you laugh at yourself, then it's like then other people can't laugh at you. It's the same kind of thing. I mean, it's out there, so I mean, why not?
I don't know if I agree with
it's
that
not like,
one.
But if you're gonna do that, then like you would either don't listen to it, or if you're gonna listen to it and you fuck with the song, then why not yell it out? I mean,
yeah, for sure. Like when
if
like
you don't go that hard, just
when
don't
Sexy Red say 30 inches to my butt, like I scream that line.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like the same thing. Like we're thinking of it from a woman's perspective, even if the lyrics are, you know, it's from a male voice.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like we're still
y'all
like
are
screaming
flipping
it, but we're flipping it the other way. Like
I do that with like trap music.
Yeah.
Like when they talk about like shooting somebody, like I think like maybe a fight I got in like 8th grade or something. Like I don't know.
But that's the same way. Like as a guy, you haven't ever listened to like a song that's by a female artist that's written about a man, but then be able to be like, oh, I could. Like,
Dance for You, Beyonce.
I can relate.
Yeah,
sure, that
exactly.
One. Y'all know that song? Y'all know that song? I love that song. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no, I guess that's fair. I never thought about it that way. But then, like, what about when he's like, oh, just lay on your back? Like, when they're like, shut up and just lay on your back. Like, I'm pretty sure Drake has said that. Like, and I'm just like, maybe y'all don't know that song or people. But I don't know. I just be like, dang, that's kind of raw, right? Like, telling her shut up and lay on her back is crazy.
I mean,
I guess
everybody
some people.
Everybody has preferences.
Yeah.
1 and 2. That doesn't mean that role can't also be switched. I know girls that have said shit like that out their mouth.
Yeah, no, there is nothing wrong with that. You're right. I don't know. I was just thinking about it, but you know what? Honestly, speaking of Drake captions and stuff. There's one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, God.
And I should have checked y'all's Instagram bios before I said this. But I feel like, I don't think either of y'all have this, but I don't know what struck my mind when I thought about this, but like, I feel like every time a girl has a Bible verse in their bio, that means they're a thought. That's how I feel.
I'm just kidding. I don't have a Bible verse.
I definitely don't have a Bible verse.
Like... I don't know. Like
Yeah.
Okay, so like the the whole verse typed out, or just like Matthew 6.
it just be all of it. Like,
Do you ever look them up?
No, I'm like, no, I know you don't. Like, and then it's just like, you like got that in your bio, but you got your butthole spread open. Like, it's like, I'm not hating on you having your butthole spread open, but it's
God
just
forgives.
like,
I mean, look, I'm big on duality, so you gotta have both sides of the coin. However, sometimes for a lot of people, like, I have a like go-to Bible verse. I don't have it in my bio, but like I have a favorite Bible verse. Because it's something that has like got me through a lot of things. So I think I would kind of look it up. I think if it's a generic one, I'd be like
John 1:16
or John
whatever
3:16, which
yeah,
is
that's
like the
the one I'm
most.
talking
Yes, if it was like that, I'd be like
God-fearing woman.
Like that one. Like mine is about my like go-to one is about anxiety because I have anxiety. So mine is like. I don't remember it verbatim, but it's basically like talks about like how each day there's enough anxiety in that day, so you should only focus on that day and not worry about the next day, which is really important for me. But like, it's also not in my bio, and it's also not a generic one. Like if you looked it up, like it would actually give you some insight into who I am as a person. Whereas a lot of them, when you look them up, I'm like, that's just the most generic.
It's cryptic.
Like,
you know, really.
it's like the most generic thing.
All I'm saying is, if I see that bio, red flag. I mean, that won't matter to me no more. But if I see that, run. Like, run.
Bible verse.
Do guys have a red flag bio caption or like profile pic or like what's a red flag for like a man when you see their IG?
You want to go first?
I don't know.
Like, you've never seen a guy's Instagram and be like, yikes.
Profile
oh, no, like,
pic. If your profile pic is shirtless, for me, I'm like, because I know a lot of friends that are bodybuilders and their profile pics aren't even shirtless. So when I see other guys that like, then the page don't line up, I'm like, why are you
line up?
Like, why are you shirtless in this picture? But then like you don't post any gym content, you don't post anything like that. Like, why? And again, like I said, I have a bunch of friends that are bodybuilders, and even my friends that are bodybuilders that may post shirtless pictures, their profile picture is still not them shirtless. Like, that one, I'm like, oh.
But a lot of them are shirtless.
I'm a victim. Not anymore, but I'm a victim.
Profile pic?
Yeah,
Is yours shirtless?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole, like, Miles Who's Fit thing was probably shirtless. What else is it supposed to be?
Your face?
I mean, my face was in it. What else? Like, what do you mean? I'm a fitness page.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I mean, not anymore, but like, I mean, you could have, like, we're going to know your fitness page when I get to your page. I don't know. Profile pics is like OD for me.
So you rather, rather a selfie?
Or a far away stand up picture, like, but not shirtless. I mean,
a modeling pic, huh?
That's like if a girl was to post, like, even if your page is all swimsuit, body, whatever, like, I don't need your profile picture to be you in a bikini. I don't know. It's just too, like, it's just too far for me. I don't know.
So the shirtless pic. Well, what about you, Morgan? I just spit, my bad. You got one? Do you have, like, it could be a bio, it could be the profile pic, it could be the page, it could be anything. Like, you go to a page, like I said, for me, it's like, if she's got,
I don't know. I feel like the less the better. I don't need to have all of your statistics and like don't put your height in your Instagram bio.
Awkward.
Like that.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Oh, is that on yours?
Anyways, let's change the subject. This is a great story. Like, not anymore.
Sorry, I haven't been stalking.
When
your
I first
Instagram
started,
bio.
like, I did have it.
So Miles' original profile is what we're talking about.
Hey, fellas, listen up. I mean,
I get like the standpoint if you're a bodybuilder and you have, I guess, your stats for that.
I didn't have
that
my
make
weight.
sense as far as like if you're a strength like training athlete, then maybe you want to put your weight as far as that kind of makes sense. But
I kind of looked at it as like, okay, I'm 6'6", and my goal for like my coaching was to like show other tall, skinny guys that they can put on muscle and stuff like that. That was kind of like my thought
you're
process.
You're like attracting a specific client.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can tell your height from.
No, not all people. Seriously, I had someone comment on my Facebook talking about, you look really tall here. I'm like, I am really tall. What are you talking about? I'm like, I'm 6'6".
Morgan, what's the craziest thing you've done to try to figure out a guy's height from a photo?
The craziest thing you ever done?
Yeah, no, like there.
I whip out my ruler. I blew it up.
Right?
I mean, there's methods. Like, have you seen this?
No.
The Amazon 3D thing.
Yeah.
Like.
No. There's
put them in your room.
So I've never done this extreme. Like, I've done one where like I'll look at multiple pictures if I know somebody that you're friends with, and I'll be like trying to do like the height comparison. Okay. If I know like if I knew Miles, right, and some guy is standing in a picture with Miles, I'd be like, oh, okay, so like. If he looks short, he's probably not actually short. Whereas, like, if he was maybe standing against a different one of your homeboys, like, I'd be like, oh, well, like, now they're the same. Like, trying to figure height from context clues. But there's apparently, like, this thing where you can, like, take a picture of another item, like your phone, and then edit it beside the picture so you can count like the phone stats.
It's not that deep.
No, I'm not. It's not that deep to me either. But I've seen the videos, and then like you know how tall your phone is, so you can figure out how tall the guy is. Like I'm like that.
You've done it. I know you've done it.
Oh hell no! I'll be quick to hit the. I'll ask dude straight out. So how tall are you? I don't give a fuck.
Why?
I'm gonna ask straight out the gate.
Why?
I can honestly say I've never asked a guy that.
How tall they are.
But Morgan, how tall are you?
Well, I'm 5'3".
Oh, that's why you've never asked how tall he is.
What are you, 5'8"?
5'7", almost 5'8". Yeah, 5'7" and some change. But I don't care. I've dated the last guy that I dated was an inch shorter than me, so I don't actually.
So why do you ask then?
Care. I still want to know. So a lot of guys. The reason why I ask is a lot of guys are really weird about that.
Like how they feel about it.
Yeah, like they're uncomfortable about it. So I kind of like to judge, or I try to get a vibe. Like I've dated one guy that was shorter than me that I used to wear heels around and would be like 6 foot, and he's like 5'8", and he didn't care. But then the last guy that I dated that was like an inch shorter than me, we never really talked about it, but I just always naturally just wore flats around him because I just didn't want to like make him feel any type of way. Not that I even think he does. I really don't think he does. That was just a more me thing.
I honestly hate talking about height around shorter people. Well, especially guys. I feel bad, honestly. If I'm being honest, I feel bad. Because it's like, I don't know, like, sometimes I feel like it's like...
Why?
I don't know. I have this thing where it's like, shorter guys feel a little... You know, have you heard of short man syndrome? Have y'all ever heard that?
I've heard of short kings.
It's just like short man is like they want to feel like bigger, like they don't. You know, it's like because women ask or like people
like
ask
overcompensating.
Like yeah,
their
like
height.
and I feel like sometimes I just feel like bad because like I'm 6'6". Like I don't know, I just feel bad.
Yeah, but
because I don't want people to think like like I don't know, I don't like the size.
That must be really hard for you, Miles.
so hard being so tall.
Is it fair that women can like have their preferences, but like I feel like guys aren't supposed to?
Love that you brought this up. I was talking to one of my guy friends about this the other day. Y'all 100% can have preferences.
But we can't vocalize it.
I think you can.
Like we can't be like, and I'm not saying this is my preference or not preference or any of that, but we can't be like, oh yeah, I don't want a girl that has cellulite. Like I don't want that. Like if a guy said that, like a woman can say about a height, a guy would get flamed. Like a guy will get torn apart, or like, oh, I don't want a woman. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I know. Like.
I'm saying that's a horrible example because like every woman has that, but.
But literally, like some guys say they don't like that. So it's like, I don't know. Like if
I think people are entitled to their preferences.
That part.
I mean, do you need to be saying that to the entire world? Like
I agree.
I don't think.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying it's like I feel like women can be like, oh, my man gotta be over 6 foot, and
yeah,
it's like
but same thing. Why do you need to say that?
I agree, but I feel like women can do that, and it's not as like I don't want to say penalized because like who's penalizing, but you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like women can do that or say that, and it's okay, but men. I mean, like I said, I can't think of what men say. Like oh, like. I don't want my girl to be over X amount of weight, or I want my girl to be shorter or taller than this, or you know what I'm saying?
But
like,
I think that probably stems from the fact that like women, like I think part of that comes from the fact that like women are just held to different like looks standard wise than men are, is what I think it really comes down to. So like our looks are always and I'm not saying that men don't either, of course. Like if you're more attractive, you're gonna get more things. Unfortunately, like that's how our society works. However, I think women are more consistently scrutinized for the way they look. So then for men to come out and be like, well, I have a preference on this, I have a preference on this, it's like, okay, like let's just add one more person in the room that like has a preference about how we look. So I think that's why it's a little bit different for men than women. However, I do still feel like you should be able to have whatever preference you
for sure.
you want to have. Like if I could say I don't want to, like I only want to date guys that are fit, like that's totally fair. Like I can't be mad if
I think there's just more of like a laundry list of women. It's like, you know, this body type, this, and this. You've ever seen that meme where it's like, oh, you know, we say height, and there's is like this long list of a build-a-bitch type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so? I mean, no, I'm not. I'm like,
I'm saying like that's,
no, like I've never seen that. No, I'm saying like,
but like, what else besides height do women say generally? Besides like maybe being fit, which is with
balding, money. That's not really a physical thing.
Yeah. But I was gonna say balding. Like, how often do you really hear, like, girl? Like, I'm not saying it doesn't come as a subsidiary, but like, if you ask a girl generally.
Oh, penis size. Penis size. That is one. They're like, yeah. I mean, I just see it.
Okay, but most girls. I feel like if we're talking about from like a social media standpoint, like most girls cap about what they need. Like, it's a cap. Like.
Look, maybe it's just like I said, just a bias, like what I see, but I don't know. I just personally never see it the other way around, or it's like, or maybe I have definitely, but it's just like I feel like women. It's just the same thing as like, oh, if a woman hits on a guy and like, you know, whatever, like a woman can come up to you and put their hands on you and be like, hey, like whatever. But if a guy does that, I'm not saying they don't do that because we know guys are crazy, but it's a little bit more like you might get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, but that's because guys, physically, you could like kill us.
Yeah.
What can we do?
I agree. No, I agree. Like, I was just, seeing how y'all felt about it.
But like she was saying, like that laundry list is way different. Like I can think of the only thing I've ever like physique wise with a guy been like, I prefer tall, but obviously I've dated opposite of that, and like I like physically fit guys. I've also dated opposite of that, but that more has to do with like lifestyle for me. Like it just at this point doesn't make sense for me to not date somebody who's at least consistently in the gym, because you're not going to understand and be able to relate to what my day-to-day looks like since you don't do that. I feel like it's so that's
preference though. But
I feel like it's easier, and I was gonna say this, I feel like it's easier for guys that are in the gym to date girls that aren't in the gym, but it's harder for girls that aren't in the gym to date guys that aren't in the gym.
I never thought about that, but I think I agree without even really thinking about it.
Yeah, because you can speak on that, Miles, right? I mean,
Sam. No, she don't go to the gym.
Oh, okay.
Like Sam never dated no fitness person, anyone that works out, and I mean, Sam's. I'm not gonna lie, Sam. I feel like Sam's different. Like not different than like y'all or every girl, but like Sam. Like I feel like I'm lucky. I'm not even trying to boost her right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sam, but I really got lucky. So like I don't even want to speak on it from a guy's perspective, because like Sam's the GOAT for real.
So I think it's because like, okay, so like when we talked about this, like I'm in a prep, right? So like from a woman's standpoint, if you're not a bodybuilder and you're dating a guy who is and he's in prep, women are naturally nurturers. So I'm naturally going to probably do the things that you would need to feel supported through that prep.
Yeah.
Like cook for you, make sure like your meals are on time, make sure that I'm supporting you, like doing all those things that I think just are traits that more naturally come to women. Doesn't mean men can't have them, but that just naturally come to women more, versus the flip side of it, like I don't know that many men who would be like, oh, let me cook rice for you, unless you really like understood.
No, I agree with you.
You get what I'm saying? Like unless they really understood what it was about, because
it's hard for me to think about it because fitness is like something that I've always done. But just being honest, I don't if I met, like, let's say I met Sam and she was already in the gym, I think it would be okay. But, like, if I met a girl and then she wanted to get all up in the gym, I don't think, I'd be like, no, like, you cook your own food. You wanted to do this. I think, I'm just being honest. I'm not
and I mean, I think that's fair, but that's why I was just saying, like, I think.
Yeah, a woman can be on the outside and be like, you know, like, it may take some adjusting to, but I think a woman more so than men would be like, oh yeah, like, okay, like, I'll do this for you. Like,
yeah, and just understand. I think women, I mean, we're just naturally, I think, more empathetic and understanding, and that's no shade to men by any means. I mean, that's how we're made. It's just how we're made. So I think when going through processes like that, it's easier when your partner knows. So,
I got a question for y'all. Because I still want to, like, I want to figure this out. Because I really just kind of been thinking about this stuff too. Like, when you're going to date someone, right? Like, we talked about height, we talked about the Instagram bios. Like, what are some things, like, what really have y'all commit, like, what are, like, something that are deal breakers, or what's the other word, opposite of deal breakers? Like you'll be like, oh,
green flags?
Green flags. Green flags? Yeah. Like, all right, let's go green flags first. Like, what are some things where you talk to a guy and maybe on the first, second, third date, like, what are a green flag where it's first like, oh, shoot, like, me and this guy, or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, are you giving examples, or you want us to just
list off the green? Just you can name just like one. Like, I mean, if you got a bunch, go ahead and name them. But like, what are something that guy can do?
So basic, but green flag, like, you're on time to the date. Like, you communicate.
Wait, on time? Are they picking you up, or are you meeting them?
Depends.
Yeah, I think it depends. I think for me, I prefer on a first date to meet up.
Really?
So that I can jet out if I need to.
That's actually, like,
wow.
I think that's a safety thing for women. I don't think, like, I can count on one hand the number of times I've gone on a first date and rode with them, unless, like, we knew each other prior to dating.
Right.
Otherwise, I gotta have an escape plan.
Yeah. So what if the guy asks, like, no, I want to pick you up.
I would be like, no, I'll see you at the restaurant.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It makes sense.
Unless I know you. Now, if it's somebody that I've known for a while, or maybe not even, and you can maybe a little bit different, maybe not like even known, but like, let's say it was like a guy I went to the gym with, and like, we work out at the same gym, and I've seen you a few times, we've had a few conversations, then maybe.
No, it's not no random
dude then maybe. But if we're talking about like some guy, I'm not on dating apps anymore, but when I was on dating apps, like a guy from a dating app, or like a guy who gave me his number in a bar, like, no way in hell am I.
Yeah. And it's not to say that I think you're going to do something crazy, but it's just like a precautionary, but I don't know, just if you're feeling uncomfortable, then
I also don't want
have y'all ever had a jet?
I also don't want anybody knowing where I live on a first date.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
oh my, y'all are.
Be picked up around the block.
Yeah. Like, you can't know where my house. 100%. Especially as a single woman, like, that, to me, that is a safety thing. Like, I'm not letting you know where I live on a first date. Yeah. That part 100% is a safety thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That, like, blew my mind. Like, I never even thought about that. Because, like, me, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to pick you up and, you know what I'm saying, be respectful. You know, I'm, like, I think for the most part, I'm a gentleman. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. If a girl's like, no, I'll meet you there, I'm not going to lie, though. Until this conversation, I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to try to hit then.
I mean, really?
Wow.
I mean, I like the gesture of being picked up, but if you're really trying to force it, then
Oh, I mean, I guess I wouldn't force it, but yeah, I wouldn't be like, why not? Like, that'd be weird.
So you're just trying to hit because she wanted to meet you instead of letting you pick her up?
I don't know. I've never been in a situation. In my head, like, that's why I think, like, oh, we just meeting up, and it's like,
no,
in a way, like, in my head, like I said, just being honest, like, I would be like, I don't know, like, I guess it depends on the actual date, but like, I feel like it might change.
Now, trust me, I'm still gonna want, like, when I say meet you there, like, I'm not going to like go in the restaurant before you or anything like that. Like, I'm gonna meet you there. I still expect you to like do the other like gentleman things that I think you're trying to do by picking me up. Like I still want you to open the door for me. Like I still want you to pull out my seat depending upon what restaurant we're at. Like I mean, if we're at a nice restaurant, heck yes. Like my family's like old school Southern, so there's certain things like I will definitely sit in a car.
So a guy doesn't open the door. I mean, pull out a seat for you. Is that a red flag?
So not pull out the seat necessarily, because that's kind of like really old school. But like not opening the door. It's not necessarily a red flag. Like it's not
open the door, you getting out. Open the door, you getting in.
Both. It's not like a you're canceled type of thing. It's just gonna be like, now I gotta see how you move in other situations. Yeah, it's.
You feel the same way, or not really?
I mean, I think with everything, you're taking mental notes, and it's not something like you said. It's not something where I'm like, oh, he didn't open the door for me. Like he's done. But it's just like, okay, so how does that fall in line? Does that fall in line with everything else that you're doing? Are you being rude to the waiter? Are you like this, and this?
So
I also sometimes kind of like when they don't do it at first, and then you make a comment on it, and then they start to do it, because then for me, that's like I'm gonna explain. That like for me is a mental note that like, so to me, feedback is really important in a relationship. Like being able to consistently like support and make each other better. But part of that, and communicating, but part of that is being able to then implement it. So if my partner says, hey, I don't like when you do X, Y, and Z, okay, am I able to actually implement that? And,
but y'all on a date.
And hold on, we're talking about green flags though. So if on the first date you don't do it, and then I say something about like, hey, I really like prefer when the door is open or whatever, and you do it on dates preceding, then it's like it's a good future sign. Does that make sense?
They have the ability to take feedback from you without being butthurt about it, and just use it as okay, this is what this person prefers, and if that makes them happy, then great. This is not that hard to do, you know?
Yeah, it's like a long-term thing, because both of my exes did not do it when I started dating them, and I have remained friends with some of mine, and even now, just as friends, they still do it because they know it's an expected thing with me. Like, oh, and walk on the right side of the street. If we're walking down the street, even as friends, like if you and I walk down the street and I'm on the outside, I will move myself to the inside and be like, you're on the wrong side. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. You're
really?
like, you do that too?
Yeah. Wait, what about sleeping? Do you sleep, like, I want...
Him on the outside, closer to the door?
Yeah,
that's a thing. I think that's a natural thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
I'm thinking about it right now, and I think that's the setup.
That is a natural thing, but I also like to sleep on a specific side of the bed, so that doesn't always line up, and that pisses me off.
Oh, that's true.
You gotta
like
turn the
my
whole
side,
bed
No, because you know when you walk into a room, the relation of the room to the bed is different depending on every room. So like I sleep on the left side, but that's not always the side furthest away from the door, depending upon
Wait.
what room you're in. How's this brain is hurting me right
Hold on now, because I'm thinking about like this whole thing that you said. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. You do you. But if you say you need to open the door for me, I'm out. I mean, I open the door.
Okay.
I open the door personally, but if it was something else like that I didn't do, and on the first date you say, hey, like,
oh, no,
you're not gonna open the door for me?
Who said that I said this on the first date? I didn't say that I said
Oh, that's
this.
what I was talking about, the first date.
No. I'm not saying that I say this on the first date, but if you don't do it on the first date, I've made a mental note, and the next time we go out, I probably will say something, or I'll do the obvious thing that's not saying anything, and I'll sit my ass in the car.
And just stay there?
Yes.
I'm out.
I 100% sat in the car before. Now again, this isn't like this is not first date.
I gotta like you for me to be like, all right, I'm gonna put up with this.
I think the delivery is important though.
Yeah,
I think that's a little bit like, I mean, it's a little bratty, right, to be sitting there. But like, if you want to make a point, sure, that makes sense. But I think if you're like, hey, like, do you mind like just bringing it up kind of nonchalant?
Make a joke about it,
so
right?
I would just say, hey, like, you know, like.
You would.
So let me rephrase that. When I sat in the car, that's after we've already had the conversation. So like if we've gone on the first date, you didn't do it, comes up in conversation, which for me usually comes up pretty quickly because I'm big on like conversations about preferences like early on in dating, just because I feel like let's get that annoying shit out the way. Like, you have things that are like a no-go for you, or like you like to have happen. I like to have that conversation early. But then, like, if I've said it to you before and you know it's a thing and you've done it before and then you don't do it, yeah, I'll sit in the car. Like, we already talked about this. Like, I don't know why you're acting confused. Like,
you know what? No.
But I also will still, like, if, like, there's tons of times where I've gone on dates and we're walking to the car and, like, if his door is closer, like, I don't expect you to pass your door to come to my side to open the door. Like, I'm not a complete, like...
Getting in.
Brat. Yeah, getting in or getting out. I mean, like, if you have to walk past, like, if we're closer to your door, like, you don't need to walk me around. But, like, if you have to come past my door to get to the location that we're trying to go to and you don't open my door, it's kind of like, you passed my door.
I'm not gonna lie, like...
like, where you going? Like, I'm confused.
I'm gonna give myself, some props. Even if it's raining, and it's opposite side, I open the door for Sam, like, every single time. I don't open the door for her to get out of the car, though. I don't do that, though.
Do you do the reach over? Push it over.
Like,
that's kind of cute when guys do
like
that.
She's in the car and then I reach over?
Yeah, you reach over and push it.
Absolutely not. I don't. No, like, but it could be raining, no umbrella, nothing. I still go open the door for her, but
it just kind of goes. I think with that is it's just like for women, like, people act like we're so hard to please, and I'm not saying that sometimes we aren't, or that a lot of women aren't, but it really is like the really, really simple small things that, like, those are the things when, like, we're frustrated or irritated about something, like, we think back and we're like, but, like, he does the little things, like, that shit, like, opening the car door goes a long, long ass way.
Yeah, 100%. The little things add up.
Alright, so with that being said,
whenever he starts laughing and get nervous,
I'm just thinking about it because I was like, I'm still thinking about when you said you sat in the car, and I was thinking it was on the first date.
No.
I go to the bathroom, I'm like, I text my homies, I'm like, hey, bro, I gotta get out of here, bro. Y'all should pull up. Something.
You gotta get out somehow.
But, no.
No, not first date, because remember, I just said I'm not riding with you first date.
No.
So.
Yeah, you're right. No, I was just, like, the miscommunication, you know what I'm saying? Like, red flag. No, but, I was watching this video, right? And it was this dude, it was a girl, it was a bunch of dudes, it was a podcast, it was a TikTok though, I think. It was a bunch of dudes and it was a girl, maybe it was one or two girls, I can't remember, but it was a bunch of dudes. And they were like, what do you expect a dude to do if a random dude comes up and pushes you? No, like, hold on, I don't want to butcher this. He basically was like, if I'm out, let's just say with Sam, right? And there's a group of dudes, and one of them, like, pushed Sam, like, on some just disrespectful type mess. I forgot why. Yeah. They were like, what do you expect me to do? And then they were like, she was like, defend me. And then he was like, so that's what's wrong with y'all. Y'all want me to you want me to get beat up and jump when you know I'm going to lose. And I was like, but wait, okay, so at first, I think he said it wrong because it's different, right? It'd be when the girls are in the club and the dude accidentally bumps into them and then the girl goes and pushes and then it's a fight. Then it's like, come on, bro. You didn't have to push him. He didn't mean to bump into you. But anyways, I think that's what he meant. But...
oh, I have such a strong opinion about it.
But I was like, at first, because that's where my head was at, was like the in the club thing type situation. But like at first I was like, oh yeah, like, I don't want to say I didn't agree off rip, but I was like, yeah, like, you are going to get jumped, like, what, like, we could just leave. But then I was thinking about it again, and sorry I'm ranting about this, but I feel like modern men, like, they try to be, like, a man and a woman at the same time, and it's like, they try to, like, dismiss, like, man, not morals, values,
task?
Sure, task. Task or yeah, like. But then they want a woman to do what a woman's supposed to do, if that makes sense. Y'all get what I'm saying? What? She's ready to go.
Because my initial, like, Okay, mind you, I'm also, like, let me preface this by saying, like, I'm naturally a firecracker. So I've worked to reel some things in. So my initial thought when you say that, like, we're on a street and a guy pushes me, my God, swing.
With a bunch of dudes.
Swing.
No.
Swing.
Like
the first thing that comes to my head is swing. You better swing. However, that's the firecracker part of me that is, like, automatically. However, at this point in my life, I'd probably be like, let's keep pushing. Like, I would want him to, if you're not gonna go straight into, like, defend, which I can understand the consequences of that, because as a man, if you swing, it's not even about you getting your ass beat. It could be charges. It could be all this type of stuff. So I'm at a point in my maturity where I would be like, hey, let's just go. But I would definitely be looking to see how you react towards me. Like, do you just brush it off completely, or are you like, hey, baby, are you good? Like, I'm sorry that happened. Like, if you're not going to do that, then that's the other response that I would want. Now, in the club, I mean, personally for me, if you've been out with me, you already know. I don't even need the man to say anything. I'm gonna turn around and be like, you can't say excuse me. Like, that's how I roll in the club, because I feel like everybody can say, you can say excuse me. I know the difference between, like, an accidental bump, like you're drunk and didn't know, but I've been, like, shoulder checked in the bar before. Like, I've had a guy walk between me and a guy I was having a conversation with in a space that he knew he couldn't fit in and shoulder check me. Yes, 100% I'm turning around and saying something, because at that point it's just... It's wild. So I think, like, it's a maturity thing to say, like, how you want to react. Like, almost now I look for the guy that isn't going, even though my initial thought, like I said, is I want to be like, yo, swing on the motherfucker.
I know.
But
I'm talking about a group of guys. It's a group of guys.
That doesn't matter. The thing is, you just, because, and the reason...
A group of guys randomly pushing a girl.
Not even, okay, sidewalk, right? And then, like, one of the dudes just bumps into him, like, you know, you or whatever, and it's like a group of them, like, and you're just walking by, and he's like, they don't, like, move themselves out the way to walk by. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Okay. This is what the dude was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of but like I said, I think it depends upon, like, I think when you're younger, as a woman, you look for the guy that's gonna, like, jump in immediately, and then as you mature, you start to be like, I kind of think I'd prefer the guy that, like, is gonna, like, try to cool it off, but also, like, if it continues to escalate, is gonna handle business.
How do you feel about it, Maureen?
I feel like my nature is to want that, you know, the
One
defender. Yeah, like, inherently, that's what I would want, but then, you know, as you do grow older, you don't want those, you know, as many problems, or someone to be so, like,
yeah, on
right,
edge. Yeah.
So, I don't know, I think it depends, it kind of changes.
I feel the same way, honestly, but I'm not a fighter. I mean, when I was younger, like, in, like, literally, like, middle school and stuff, I used to, like, get in fights, neighborhood fights, but I kind of look at it this way. I'm like, it's like, yeah, be mature and be like, hey, look, like, let's just keep it moving, like, whatever. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I look at it as, like, if that was, like, my kid, or if it was my mom, or if it was my sister, and it's like, I would easily fight. And I mean, I think I would easily fight for, you know, my girl too, but, like, I feel like dudes nowadays feel like, oh no, like, I shouldn't have to. And I mean, I'm not saying you should have to, but I feel like men don't want to be, like I said, like, a traditional man, but then they expect a woman to be a traditional woman, you know?
So I can say that too, because I know, like, when I was younger, like, guys would comment on the fact that, like, I would always get riled up about stuff, and it's just, like, I'm really big on respect. But I think there's a number of times, like, is this happening every time y'all go out? Like, if it's happening every time y'all go out, like, I can get why the man is going to be like, damn, and, like, here we go again. Like, she's getting in shit.
Oh, no, it's her fault.
Again, like, every single time. But at the same time, it's like, you do, as women, are like, again, like I was talking about, our natural nature to nurture. Like, that was a tongue twister. Men's, like, you should want to defend. And, like, again, that doesn't always look the same. Like, sometimes maybe it's not even, like, addressing the guy, but turning around and, like, making sure that I'm okay. Like, in that space, you're still defending me, you're defending my feelings, and, like, making sure that I'm okay.
Even if they don't say nothing to the guy?
I think it's
like, hey man, watch out.
I think it depends upon the scenario. Like, I mean, if we're walking through a crowd and the guys didn't move and we bump each other, like, that's not really anybody's fault. Like, either one of us could have moved. What I will say, like, I can give experiences. I've been out and I've been grabbed before, and I've been with guy friends, and like, they will immediately like jump into that shit.
Yeah.
100% that's valid. That's how it should be. And that's what I would expect of my man. But I think there's like levels to it as to whether you need to be like defensive or not. Like, when I was younger, in my earlier 20s, I got into it with somebody in a bar, a guy. And before I could even get it out of my mouth, like, I was like calling the guy out for pushing me. And before I could even get it out of my mouth, I hear my boys like come, like, I mean, we were in there like a big group of us, but they came like 4 deep and got in between me before I could even like bat my eyes, because it was that level of seriousness. But I don't think that level of defense is needed in every situation.
Yeah. It's just weird too, because like, even for me, like, it takes a lot for me to want to fight someone, like a lot. Like, someone could bump into me and like, I'm alright. Like, because I kind of look at it as like, it's not really worth it. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, we can get in a fight, even if I win, lose, whatever the case may be. Like, even if I'm with like 5 dudes, like, I kind of feel like it's just like not worth it. So like, my initial thoughts was like, yeah, like, why can't my girl just understand, like, hey, look, like, it's not just like, once we go home, we're cool. Like, this dude just bumped into you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like, I'm just giving honest thoughts about it. I was just like, well, they did it to my mom. I think, like, second, like, it wouldn't even be a thought process. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like dudes nowadays are just like, no, like, I'm not supposed to fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even fight, but just stand up for.
I think it's a different level of maturity. But, like, in that same example, like, okay, so, yeah, the guy just bumped him. But, like, I think if you asked a lot of guys, there were a different scenario and said, okay, what if, like, you were walking down the street and you were holding your girl's hand and some guy grabbed, like, Sam's arm? Like, I'm sure, like, that would be a situation where I want my man to be like, no thought, like, it's on sight.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
like, you just, like...
Well, it's almost just disrespecting multiple ways.
Like...
Yeah. And that was the intention there.
Yeah.
Like,
I had some dude...
But I get what you're saying, because I know dudes that in that situation still wouldn't do anything. And, like, for me, you want to talk about red flags? For me, I would have been like, oh, yeah, nah.
Look.
It's done.
I forgot the situation. This is funny, but it's not funny. I don't know. I forgot how it went. I think maybe, like, Sam went into, like, the gas station. I can't remember. But I can't remember how this went, and I don't want to butcher it. It was crazy, but dude basically told me that my girl was beautiful.
you mean every time we go to the gas station ever?
No, it happened. Like, I
know, like,
what?
Gas stations are crazy.
I know, but it was like...
Have you seen the meme about that?
But it's different
if you ever want to feel like...
Or how women don't go to the gas station by themselves, like, because you know 100%.
But it's different, like, you get, like a woman getting catcalled by themselves, but it was like... Dude told me that my girl was like...
He was being respectful. Yeah. Like, kudos to him.
I mean, I was like, thanks, but I kind of was like, did he just like... Did he try me? Like, was that like... You know, being almost like sarcastic? It was weird.
Yeah,
that was a weird situation.
Where they like do a props to the person I'm with or something, which is kind of like weird. Like, I'm here, like, but...
Okay, well, I have a funnier one, kind of a similar situation, but the reverse. So I was with this guy one night out. Like, this is like just somebody, like, I was very, like, I think this was like the first time we had hung out. We were at the bar. We were like standing and we were talking. We were like really close, and I think I had my arms like up on his neck because we were in the bar. It was loud, like we were ear to ear conversation. And this guy that knows me through, like, I'll just say we have the same coach, same bodybuilding coach. He comes over to me and he's like, "Is that your boyfriend?" And I was like, "No, like, it's not." And he proceeds to go, "Okay, good, because you can do way better than that."
Oh. I used to, with my exes, I would have people say, "Hey, like, you can do better than her."
But it's just like, this guy doesn't even really know me either. Like, we know each other through socials because we have the same coach. Like, you don't actually really know the other person. So I'm like, that's wild for you to say. And it was just the fact that, like, he had also tried his hand, like, previously.
Well, that's why then.
So I was like, this is, but I wish men knew how bad that. No. I wish men knew how bad that makes them look, because I literally looked at him like the audacity for you to think that you were like so amazing, like.
He was trying to talk his, you know what I'm saying?
And it backfired because it was not cute. I literally think I said, I was like, yeah, that's what we're not gonna do. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the following sentence that came out of my mouth. Because what? Like, that's wild. That's wild. Like, that is wild. Like, kudos to you for having the audacity, because I could never, but like, that was wild.
I'm still mind blown at the car situation.
What car situation?
The first date, like.
I'm like us not getting in the car.
No, like, I respect that. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, that is really weird. I'm not even gonna lie, like, because even, like, in the reverse, I don't know, I'm crazy. But when you asked for my address again, I was spooked. I was like, why did you need my address again? It's somewhere in there. I just get scared, but now I think
I just didn't want to go back and look for it.
But, like, I was
not finna scroll.
But, no, like, thinking from a completely different perspective, like, even, like, I don't know, I'm not like a I'm kind of a little bit paranoid person, but like in that like other way, yeah, like getting a dude that you don't know to come pick you up at your house is wild. Now I think about it.
Yeah, like I'm really weird about when I start dating. Like, we're hanging out at your house. Like, when we get to the stage of like hanging out at somebody's house, we're hanging out at your house until I feel comfortable. Like, I'm really weird about people in my space.
Yeah.
Like,
that's crazy. No, that's crazy, honestly.
Like, I've lived in my new apartment. I've lived in my place since March. I think I've had a total of 4 people in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like, not at the same time, like, on different, like, total that have seen my new apartment, like, outside of, like, my family.
Because that's, like, your safe space.
Safe space, yeah.
But I feel like as a woman, it's even more, like, I don't know, like, I just, even more sacred for, maybe that sounds crazy, but, like.
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, it's crazy because dudes are crazy. I mean, dudes are the one, I mean, women do it too, but dudes will stalk you, do all that crazy stuff. So, like, that's, honestly, I'm mind blown. Like, and it's kind of crazy that even in a traditional sense, like, to pick up the woman is, like, a normal thing, because now I think about it, it's like, that is dangerous. Like, that's crazy. That's so crazy to me. I never thought about that.
Now, depending upon, and Maureen, you can tell me if you have a different opinion, but, like, for me, if we're doing, like, a multiple part date, as in, like, maybe we're going to go to a movie and then get dinner afterwards, and, like, maybe they're not right beside each other, I may meet you at the movie theater or meet you at dinner, and then depending upon how I feel, with the comfortability, then I may be like, hey, can I ride with you to the next spot and just leave my car here? Like, I have done that, but then again, like, it goes back to, you still have no idea where I live. And I've also had a few minutes to build, like, some sort of rapport. Because the guys that are, like, straight creepers, for me, I can tell within the first, like, 10 minutes of the date. Mm-hmm. If that's your vibe, like.
How do you know? How do y'all know? How do y'all know if the dude's a creeper? Like, what is this, like, yeah, how do you know?
I'm big on energy, so I feel like I can just feel it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're being really handsy right out of the gate, too, I mean.